Hey everyone! So today, we're going to talk about a study habit that pretty much all of us use, thinking it's our secret weapon for acing that next test. But what if I told you it might actually be the single biggest waste of your study time? Let's figure out what it is.
Seriously, think about it for a second. When you've got a huge exam coming up, what's your go-to move, your default strategy? Well, for so many of us, the one technique we lean on the most is actually letting us down big time. So, what is the sneaky, time-wasting habit? It's rereading. Yep, that's it. Just sitting there with your textbook or your notes and reading them. And then reading them again. And maybe one more time for good measure. We all do it, right? Because let's be honest, it feels like we're being super diligent. It feels like real work.
But here's the hard truth. That feeling of productivity, it's a complete and total illusion. While it might feel like you're cementing all that information in your brain, you're actually doing very little to build a real, lasting memory.
Okay, so to really get why, we need to peek inside your brain for a minute. See, what rereading does is it creates this powerful and really misleading cognitive illusion. It basically tricks you into thinking you know the material way better than you actually do. And this trick has a name. It's called the illusion of knowing. As you go over a chapter again and again, the words, the concepts, they all start to feel really familiar. Your brain makes a simple mistake. It confuses that feeling of familiarity with actual learning. It's like, oh, hey, I've seen this before, I must know it. But, and this is key, familiarity is not the same as knowing. This really breaks it down. Our memory works in two different ways. On the left, you've got recognition. This is the easy stuff. It's what rereading helps with. You see something and you go, oh yeah, I recognize that. The problem is, a test doesn't care about recognition. A test demands the skill on the right, recall. And that is so much harder. That's pulling information out of your brain from scratch with no help. And this is why it all leads to disaster on test day. You walk into that exam feeling super confident, right? Because everything looks so familiar when you were studying. But then you stare at a blank question and nothing. You can't recall the answer. That's because rereading only builds these weak, fragile memories that just evaporate under pressure. So if rereading is out, what are we supposed to do instead? Well, the answer is to basically flip the entire process on its head. We have to stop being passive sponges of information and start actively pulling it out of our brains. That's the real key to building a stronger memory. This is the fundamental rule right here. Your memory is like a muscle, and to make any muscle stronger, you have to work it out. You have to make it struggle a little bit. Easy, passive stuff like rereading, that's like sitting on the couch watching sports. It's not a workout. The real growth, the strong neural pathways, happen during the struggle to remember. Now, the official name for this brain workout is active retrieval. It sounds kind of fancy, but it's something you already get. It's just testing yourself. It's the simple act of forcing your brain to pull out information cold. You know, the exact skill you need to pass a test. And here's how you actually do it. It's a super simple 4-step process. First, just read your stuff once, get the info in your head. Then, and this part is absolutely crucial, close the book. Put your notes away, out of sight. Third, you try to write down or even just say out loud everything you can remember. And finally, you open the book back up and check your work. See what you nailed and, more importantly, where the gaps are. I mean, this chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? Reading a page 5 times is easy. It feels effortless. And what do you get for it? A weak memory. But reading that same page just once and then forcing yourself to recall it just once, that's hard. That takes real mental effort. And the payoff is a strong, solid memory that'll actually stick around. And look at this. The visual says it all. The amount of memory strength you get from active retrieval absolutely crushes what you get from rereading. It's not even a competition. If you want to remember something, you have to practice remembering it. Simple as that. All right, let's wrap this up with a brand new rule for all your future study sessions. This isn't about studying longer. It's about making the time you do spend really count. It's time to start studying smarter, not easier. If you remember one thing from this, make it this quote. This is your new mantra. If you're just breezing through a study session, no mental sweat, no real effort, that should be a huge red flag. It probably means you're just recognizing things, not actually learning them. So, from now on, I want you to embrace that feeling of struggle. It's not a sign that you're dumb or that you're failing. It's the feeling of your brain getting stronger. When you're deciding how to study, always pick the hard path of testing yourself over the easy path of just rereading. Your goal isn't to feel comfortable, it's to build strong, lasting memories.
So the next time you sit down to study, you've got a choice. Are you going to take the easy route that just leads to forgetting? Or are you ready to put in the right kind of effort, embrace that struggle, and actually make your brain work for you?